Hey everybody, what's up? Today I'm going to be smoking this baby right here. That's right, it is a brisket. I have never smoked or trimmed a brisket in my life. And today is going to be a first. So I wanted to share it with you guys so we can see how it all comes out together. Now I got this baby at Costco. It is a 16.64 pound brisket. And it is a prime USDA Prime beef. All right, yeah, look at this baby. It is big, but I definitely have some trimming that I gotta do on this baby, all right? I have some fat on here, some hard fat, and it looks like I might have a little bit of silver on here that I have to trim off as well. So watch me cook this brisket. I've never cooked one before. I'm gonna be smoking it on my Traeger using hickory wood and mesquite combination. I'm going to try and smoke this without having to wrap it. We'll look at it as we go through the process. If it gets too dried out on the flat parts of the corners or anything like that, then I might have to wrap it. But for now, the ideal is to smoke this baby without having to wrap it. I'm assuming it's probably going to take me about between 14 and 16 hours to smoke, depending on how much this baby weighs after I trim it. All right, so watch me trim it. We're going to season it as well. We're going to use equal parts of salt and pepper. So if I use 1 cup of salt, I'm going to use 1 cup of pepper. All right, so just follow me as we do this. And hey, cross your fingers. I have mine crossed, so let's cook. right, so I put it fat side down, which there wasn't a whole lot of fat on there from the first place, but I did put it fat side down with the thickest part heading towards where all the smoke is going to be at. So that way the smaller end doesn't cook up before the bigger end as much. All right, so we'll check back on this baby in a few hours. All right, it's been on the smoker for 3 hours, and now I'm about to spray it with some of this good old apple juice. And then we're going to close the lid and let it keep cooking. Oh, my security light went off. There we go. I know I shouldn't have it open this long, but I'm gonna give y'all a good look at it. All right. So it is 4 a.m. in the morning. I put the brisket on the smoker at 6 p.m. in the evening. So this baby has been smoking for 10 hours and it's nice and tender. And as you can see, my little juices came out. So now what I'm about to do is put this baby in the cooler, close the lid, let this baby rest for a couple hours, and then after that we're going to open this baby up and cut it open when I get up, because I'm about to get some sleep. All right, so let's put this baby in the cooler real quick and then let it cool down, let all the juices soak back up into this beautiful brisket, and then we'll give it a taste and give it a look. All right, so before I put this in the cooler to rest, I did put it inside of a plastic bag. All right, so that way it can insulate it a little bit more and a lot of that heat can stay inside the bag. All right. All right, so this baby's been in the cooler, cooling down, so that way all the juices can go back into the brisket. And I wrapped it in the bag, as you can see, to hold in a lot more of that moisture, and it looks like it did the trick. But we got to check and see if it worked for the brisket as well, because it definitely worked for the bag, for the butcher paper. All right. See, a lot of oil came through on the bottom. All right, and as you can see, that's the fat side. Look at all that color on there. Nice and tender. Broke down really, really nice. Don't have bald spots on there like I thought I would. So, happy about that. Now we're gonna look at the top of this baby. Oh yeah. Yeah, so it has a nice bark to it. Nice, firm. The fat is broken down really, really good. Now remember right here in the video when I was trimming the brisket, this was that big chunky fat that was in there. It broke down really, really good. Oh yeah. And right here, you can get a good look at the darkness of it. This right here is the cream of the crop when it comes to a brisket. Right here, this is those burnt end tips that everybody likes to fight over at the dinner table and get pissed off when the restaurant has sold out of all of their burnt end tips. All right, so that's good. And remember that fat that ran through here that I was complaining about? That broke down really, really good. Nice and tender. Barely touching it, and you can see it's still real juicy and everything. Let me give you a better look at it. Let's see. As you can see right there, broke down really, really nice. And let's look at the ends of the flat, the corners. They did not burn as I thought they would, so that's a good thing. They're a little bit crispy, which was expected because since it's the thinnest part of the brisket, but yeah, that's pretty good. Let's take a look at the bottom of it. Look at that. See, as I lift it, you can already see the meat coming up and then the fat that broke down attached to it. Yeah, nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Now the first part I want to cut off is this end right here. I want to see how this baby looks. Got my electric knife. Okay. So I'm gonna cut off this chunk right here. Let's take a look at that. Nice. Nice, moist. Look at that. See, when I press on it, those juices coming out. Nice, very nice. Then you can also see the end. Look at that. Very nice. So I'm gonna sit this to the side. Then I'm gonna start slicing this baby up. Look at that. Beautiful smoke ring on it. And it did not dry out as much as I thought it would have. Just on that little corner. Give it a taste. Wow. All right, let's keep slicing. Yeah, look at that, beautiful. Now remember, I let this cool all the way down. It was just barely warm. So as far as doing the pull test and everything, the meat, it's not super tender, so it doesn't fall apart, but it is juicy. It's not dried out. Nice fat rendering. It's a lot of flavor in there. Nice. All right, guys, so the brisket came out really, really good. Now, it being my first time making a brisket, I had higher expectations of myself, but at the same time, I do understand that there is a learning curve when it comes to buying and smoking a brisket. Now, going back to the beginning, when buying the brisket, I probably would have looked for more fat to be on top of the brisket so I could have more to work with on trimming it off. Maybe that's just me. But then also at the end of the brisket, where I got this big chunk from right here, this beautiful chunk of brisket. I know. Where I got this beautiful chunk of brisket from, I would have wished there was more of that too. So I guess when it comes to buying a brisket, I probably would have to do some more research for myself on what's the best brisket to buy as far as meat versus fat and all that good stuff. Now, as far as the cooking of it, the smoking of it, I'm very happy about that. Even though I didn't go to bed till like after 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm very happy about it. When I did wrap it and I put it in the cooler to rest, I probably shouldn't have waited as long to cut it and show you guys, because I put this baby in the cooler around 4:30 in the morning, and I'm literally just waking up right before I made this video, and it is 11:45, almost noontime. So that brisket has been sitting in the cooler for quite a while. So from, let's say, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, that brisket has been sitting in the cooler for about 7 hours. So I would say I would not let it sit in the cooler for that long. But all in all, it came out pretty good. Thinner slices, because what you seen me cut, they were a little bit thick. I would definitely do thinner slices if I was going to do the pull test and everything. But hey, I'm happy with it. It's not a competition brisket for sure, you know, but hey, in my competitions that I have done, it was usually top sirloins. So a little bit different in some ways, but not as much. So now that I've made my first brisket, I wanted to share it with you guys. Leave some comments down below and let me know what you would have done different and what your technique is for your briskets, what your technique is for when you go shopping for a brisket. Everything you do to get the perfect brisket, let me know. That's it. See you guys on the next video. Bye.